Cross-contamination in your kitchen. What you don't know can hurt you. 48 million Americans suffer the effects of foodborne illness every year. And each year, more than 128,000 people will be hospitalized. 3,000 will die. For many of these people, the trouble began right in their own homes through cross-contamination. Cross-contamination is defined as the transfer of harmful bacteria to food. It can come from other foods, cutting boards, and other kitchen utensils if they're not handled properly. By following a few simple steps, you can avoid cross-contamination and dramatically reduce your risk of a foodborne illness. To better understand, we'll take a look at some of the common areas where cross-contamination can occur while we watch Andy and Brooke prepare a simple chicken salad. Andy already knows the number one way to avoid cross-contamination is to wash his hands with soap and water for at least 20 seconds before and after handling food. That means immediately after he cuts the amount of raw chicken he will need for his meal, he must wash his hands again. But watch what happens next. Andy has placed his leftover chicken right on top of the lettuce. The juices of raw chicken often contain harmful bacteria. Always store raw meat below and away from other foods. Before Andy cooks the chicken, he gives the cutting board he cut the chicken on a quick rinse. He also quickly rinses off the knife. Chicken must be cooked to a temperature of 165 degrees to ensure that any potentially harmful bacteria has been killed. While Andy uses a professional-grade thermometer, many models are available and no kitchen should be without one. Sometimes it's not the humans who cause cross-contamination. It's a good practice to exclude your pets from meal prep. Who knows what Duke left behind on that cutting board? Remember that cutting board that Andy just rinsed and didn't wash? Well, Brooke has no idea, and when she pitches in to help, she doesn't know that she is potentially passing poisons right onto that lettuce. Lettuce is a ready-to-eat food. That means it will not be cooked, and bacteria that gets on it will be passed on to whoever eats it. What should have happened is Andy should have washed that cutting board with hot, soapy water immediately after cutting the raw chicken. Now this bowl contains potentially cross-contaminated lettuce, and neither Andy nor Brooke are aware. Here are the rules for using cutting boards. First, always use clean cutting boards. Never cut meat or prepare food on bare countertops. Cutting boards should be washed immediately after each use and immediately before each use. If possible, use a multi-cutting board method. These are often sold in packets of 3 and are labeled or color-coded. One is used for meat, one for produce, a third for fish and seafood. If you choose to use a wooden cutting board, food safety experts recommend that you mark one side clearly and use that side only for cutting raw meat. Finally, when your cutting boards become too worn or develop deep grooves that are hard to clean, they should be replaced. By following these few simple steps, you can help avoid cross-contamination, and you and your family will be at less risk of becoming ill.